Oui, ça va? You okay? Adrien, thank you for being with us. Yeah, thank you for being with us. Sorry, because normally it is on Saturday, so I knew that it was today, but I didn't know what time it was. Okay, so I was working, and thank you very much, Adrien, for being with us. Now, Adrien, what is it like to study at Polytechnique?
So I'm doing a 2-year master degree in
Yeah.
economics, data analytics, and corporate finance. And it's in the same time a very theoretical program, but also very applied. So you have lots of guest speakers and career opportunities when it comes to networking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say a mix of theory and quantitative skills, but also apply to the job market.
Okay. Alors, so is it a 1 year or a 2-year program? Tell me.
So it's a 2-year program, but it's totally different than the rest of the programs in France, because each year you do 6 months of academics and classes and 6 months of internship. So right now I'm already trying to apply to internships for the end of March. So I'll be able to complete 2 6-month internship during my master.
Okay. And and what are your target companies? Tell me.
So I'm applying to summer internship in London, so all the banks, and also some internship in Paris in finance. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're looking for. The ultimate objective being to be what? What are your career goals? Short term, mid term, long term?
So I want to do equity research. For those who don't know what it is, it's a department in investment banks and global markets of big banks, and you basically do research on publicly traded companies, and you analyze their financial information and data, and you recommend institutional investors to buy or sell the stock. And yeah, I basically want to do this, and the master is really applied in corporate finance also. So that's why I choose this program.
But you don't want to become an investment banker. You don't want to be an M&A analyst. It's not what you want to do. You want to work in asset management. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm more interested about financial modeling and stock market and stock analysis. But in my degree, we are 25 in my master. Most of the people want to do either M&A or private equity. So I'm more of a unique case in my master, I would say.
Okay. And do you intend to prepare the CFA, because the CFA would be a good add-on to what you do, because it's a program specifically designed for people who want to work in asset management, or do you intend to prepare an additional degree, Adrien, like the CFA?
Yeah, the CFA is something I've been thinking about. And so right now my master is pretty challenging and I have to apply to competitive internships. But that's something I've been thinking to take, and maybe during the program when I will have more time, I will take the CFA level 1. Yeah.
Yes. As you know, you need 3 years. Probably you could end up Polytechnique with the level 2. It would be difficult to have the 3 levels, but that's definitely something that I advise you to do. And it will be a big plus for you. Alors, so what is it like to study at Polytechnique? Do you live there? What is a typical day? Tell me more.
So Polytechnique is located near Paris, in Palaiseau. So you are near the Plateau de Saclay, where all the engineering schools are located. So Centrale, Institut Polytechnique de Paris. So you have ENSTA, LSAE, Télécom Paris Sud. I live in a residence just near Polytechnique. And when it comes to the life at Polytechnique, you have classes during all day of the week, but it's also very different from other universities or business school, because it's mandatory to take one language course. So I'm doing Italian, and it's mandatory to take sport classes. So I'm doing rugby right now at Polytechnique. So yeah, and when it comes to the classes, you basically, depending on your master, will have a range of skills that you develop. So for my master, you do a mix of econometrics, corporate finance, and data analysis. Also studying a bit of theoretical economics, such as industrial organization and macroeconomics. And for the life, you can live on the campus in a residence. Some people decide to live in Paris and take the RERB every day. It depends where you live in Paris to do that. It wasn't possible for me because it was 1 hour and a half every day of travel, and I have class at 8 in the morning, so it's quite complex. And for the rest of your life at Polytechnique, so for the lunch, everybody is going to get lunch at the canteen of Polytechnique, which is not expensive and very good. You can live on a residence from Polytechnique on the campus if you're not from France. If you're from France, it's more complicated to get accepted, but you can try if you have some personal reasons. And yeah.
And you don't live on campus, so you live in the city, but not on campus itself. You don't live in the dorm.
I live at Camille Claudel. It's like 2 bus stops from Polytechnique, but it's very near. I put like 4 minutes of bus to go to Polytechnique.
Yeah, so it's very convenient.
Yeah.
So what is the campus like? What have you got there that makes the campus amazing for me?
So for people who don't know, École Polytechnique since 5 years is part of the Institut Polytechnique de Paris. So it's now a group of 5 French universities. So if you take into account that the campus is very, very, very big, but itself, Polytechnique campus is also very big. You have a lot of sport facilities, rugby, tennis, soccer, swimming pool, basketball, and I can go on for a long time. You have everything in terms of cafeteria and canteen to get your meals. You have a very big library. You have a lot of study rooms, and it's a very pleasant campus because you have lots of outdoor places just to chill or be with friends and study outside.
Okay. So it's very good. And are you a member of some clubs? Because people they know, because those who are working with us, they understand that you have to prepare. You have your studies, you have to look for internship, but also that campus life is something important, especially the network. Of which associations are you part of? So I understand that you play rugby, but something more related to your job goals. Tell me.
So I'm not yet in clubs, but I'm deciding between 2 clubs that I have interest in. So it's X Finance, which is the finance club of Polytechnique. They have a partnership with some finance companies for events and networking. And I'm also deciding about Next Polytechnique, which is the sustainable club of Polytechnique, working towards sustainability goals and climate change. So I don't know yet which one I'm going to join, but it's something I will be doing during this month in October. And also you also have clubs. So I'm doing the Master of Science. You have many Master of Science at Polytechnique, and you have the MOX, which is basically the club of the Master of Science, and I will be joining that also for activities and parties and rest.
Okay. Hello. So tell me now, I didn't ask you to introduce yourself because now maybe it's the right time because people they don't know about you. So can you please introduce yourself? So who are you? Your international exposure, your studies, your inverted comma career, your hobbies. Who is Adrien?
Sure. So I'm French. I did all my high school in France and in Paris. After that, I decided I wanted to study abroad. So I applied to the United Kingdom and to Spain, to Italy. At the end, I went to IE Business School in Madrid for a 4-year bachelor in business administration. There, I've been able to focus very rapidly on finance and financial markets, which has been my interest. Therefore, I wanted to go a semester abroad in the United States. I went to the McIntyre School of Commerce at the University of Virginia. So there I've been able to take a range of courses in financial markets and economics. I did a summer internship in a private bank in Paris as an assistant to portfolio managers. basically investing in equity and equity funds. And during the last year of my degree at IE, I knew I wanted to get a graduate degree because I wanted to broaden my skills in terms of quantitative skills and also in economics, which is something I did study at IE, but not in the way you would study, for example, doing a BSc in economics in the UK. And that's why I applied to different graduate schools in France and the UK with a MBA center. And now I'm very happy being at Polytechnique.
Now, so tell me, what is the difference between the way it was taught in Spain at IE and the way you are taught today in France at Polytechnique? Is there a difference, or you think it's just one step higher, or is there a big difference?
So it's a good question because I really think about it, and I think the two schools are totally different. So IE is IE is a business school, whereas Polytechnique is an engineering school. IE is a very applied school, so it's not known for being the hardest or the most theoretical university in Europe when it comes to finance and business. You're going to have very applied courses, taking relevant examples and doing cases and case studies. At the other end, Polytechnique is very, very theoretical and mathematically demanding. So it's two different approach of academics. But I think that having both the applied side of IE and the quantitative and theoretical side of Polytechnique will allow me to have an edge on the job market when it comes to the skills I have.
Okay. So that's the thing. So the fact is different. And tell me, you were so what is it, for instance, when you say to your friends or to colleagues or that you study at Polytechnique, you have to explain to them that no, Polytechnique is a business school. They know. Is it known in France, or what is the perception of the school?
So Polytechnique is very known in France for their engineering program, the Grande École. So it's basically people who do 2 years of preparatory classes, and they are called polytechnicians. But like many other European universities, they've been opening up to the international market, and they've opened 9 Master of Science and Technology. So you have some of them which are double degree with HEC Paris, and the rest are single degrees or double degrees with universities from Institut Polytechnique de Paris. My degree is offered by Polytechnique, but for example, I can take courses at ENSAE Paris in statistics and economics. And yeah, I feel that people in France don't really know about the Master of Science offered by Polytechnique. They are more aware of the Grande École program. But you also have now a bachelor degree at Polytechnique, Master of Science. So they've been trying to open up to international students. And actually, you have like 40% of students at Polytechnique are international. So I think that it takes a big part of the university now, these programs.
Now, you know that many engineering schools have a business school, for instance. So we know the most famous is, of course, example is MIT, because there's a business school called MIT Sloan. Okay, that has an MBA, that has a master's. Do you think that Polytechnique is going to, at some stage, open a business school like MIT? And does it make sense for you?
I don't think they will open a business school because now the master I'm doing and some of other masters, I would say they are more about, in terms of department, it's more related to an economics department graduate because we do more economics and data analytics. There are a few courses in corporate finance, but you don't have that much courses in management, marketing, and things like this that I could get at a business school. So I don't think they will open a business school, but I'm pretty sure they will develop other Master of Science and in fields outside of engineering. So if in 2 years they open, I don't know, like a master in maybe in quantitative decision making for business or something like this, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes, yeah. I don't know what to. At the same time, you see, Adrien, there are already so many business schools in France. It's strange that an engineering school become, but why not? By the way, Imperial College has a business school. As you may know, there's a school called Imperial College Business School. So it's a business school within Imperial College. Politecnico di Milano has a business school as well. ENPC, there's a École Nationale des Ponts et Chaussées business school. So they open a business school, which I find I know business school, but why not? So tell me, yourself, you got accepted to ESCP and Polytechnique, maybe others, but I forgot, but I know for sure these two. Why have you chosen an engineering school with a degree, with a business degree, versus a recognized business school whose MIM is ranked in the ranking, was the current Master in Finance is not ranked in ranking, and it's maybe unlikely that it is one day ranked. So why Polytechnique against ESCP when the school ESCP is known as a business school, and when all the masters are ranked? By the way, the Master in Finance, as you may know, is ranked even #1. Why this choice? That may sound a bit strange for my Indian students, for instance, Adrien. Go ahead, tell me.
So first of all, my master at Polytechnique, I'm doing things that I wouldn't do in a business school. So you wouldn't do advanced theoretical economics courses in a master in management at the level we do at Polytechnique. I would say that even though the master in management, I could focus on finance in the second year, I would have done similar things I've done at IE during the first year. And I was thinking that I would have like a regular CV on the job market when it comes to summer internship in London, because I would have a bachelor in business and a master in management with a focus in finance. Now I have a BBA and a master in data analytics, economics, and corporate finance. So I think that it adds a bit of technical skills to my resume, being a little bit more technical when it comes to hard skills, I would say. And also the brand name, in terms of brand name, even if ESCP is one of the top brand name when it comes to management and finance in Europe, Polytechnique has a very, very important brand name in France and also in London. For example, we had the career fair of Polytechnique 2 weeks ago, and the companies that were there were just some of the most prestigious companies in finance. So I'm really happy about the choice I made, and I think that sometimes not choosing only based on rankings and business school ranking like the Financial Times or QS is something that you have to do if you think that your degree is going to be viewed as more technical by the employee in which you want to apply.
Yeah, and also between you and me, you see me, I'm not politically correct. You don't know me well, but I'm not someone who is politically correct. And you have to say that we can say that we're a bit disappointed by the selectivity of ESCP, where almost everybody gets in. Probably that's something that scares you a bit. You see that basically ESCP accept absolutely everybody. You agree? And you have the thing that at Polytechnique classes would be more serious. The program is more selective. So that's probably something that was important in your decision. So in terms of application, so when we started to work together, you are based in Spain, but the program is online. What is it like to apply to these schools? What is the process? What is required? Can you please tell us about what it is required to apply to Polytechnique? What do they ask from you?
Sure. So for my case, if I could give advice to future students for MBA Center, I did contact Dr. Hubert and MBA Center during the summer of last year. So a long time before applications. It was, I think, in August of 2022. We did do a plan with MBA Center of which universities I wanted to apply. We decided for 5 universities in Europe. And for each university, it will consist of having different rounds. So round 1, round 2, round 3. The earlier you apply, the better it is. Depending on the schools, it can be different, but it's usually the rule. And yeah, I've been working with MBA Center, and for all the schools, it's kind of similar. You have to prepare a CV, a motivation letter. Some of them, you also have some short essays that you have to write beside of the motivation letter. You have to complete the application pages online. And after that, ESCP, I had an online test, but for the other universities, it was an interview by Zoom. And after that, you get accepted or rejected.
And then you get accepted. What was the most difficult step at Polytechnique? What did you find was the most difficult step? The Excel interview? What was most difficult?
At Polytechnique, I think like for the other universities, just making a good application overall, because you have many different parts in the application, and overall trying to make it effective to get accepted I think is the most difficult thing, because you have to, applications will take a lot, you have to be focused and work hard for like several months. So I think, making a good application overall.
Yeah, making a good application is important. Okay. Regarding the financing, what type of help does Polytechnique offer? Do you get some scholarship? They work with some banks, or you have to do it on your own? How does it work to finance your master in finance at Polytechnique?
Sure. So depending if you're international or French, if you're international, I have no idea, but I guess they have some scholarships designed for international students. For French students, they might have like a merit scholarship, but I know that most of the students are doing a loan to a bank, and like many other universities, they have partnerships with banks, French banks like Crédit Agricole, Société Générale, BNP, and you have very interesting financing solutions for your master degree.
Okay. Anyway, there are many ways to finance. So for those who want, so Polytechnique works with schools. You can also use Polytechnique Finance if you're not from France, because a French company will probably, a French bank will probably not give you a loan, but Polytechnique Finance does that. And then of course personal savings and so on. What is the cost of the degree, by the way, the tuition? How much is it?
It's 14,000 per year during 2 years, which is compared to usual business school in Europe, not very expensive, much cheaper. And also as I told at the start, you can complete 2 6-month internship during the 2 years. So financially, at the end, it's not even 14,000, because you will be able to earn your own money a bit for 6 months.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So that's yeah, I agree with you. So when you compare, it's half the price of INSEAD for a 9 months program.
Yeah, INSEAD. I look at INSEAD. I think it's 50,000 1 year for the minimum.
Yeah, 50,000, and they increase 10% per year. So in 2 years it will be 55,000. So can you imagine it will be twice the price with no internship and 9 months program. Okay. And after that, they said that they want to change and they want to innovate in education. Yeah, great sense of innovation. Okay, but it's Papa will see. So thank you very much. Of course, I will have the opportunity to meet you. I will probably meet you not this Monday, but maybe next Monday. I will write you separately. And of course, it's very nice. Of course, Adrien, by the way, we're going to open from January a program to have people find internships in finance, in consulting. So I will let you know more. And of course, given what you have given me, you can come for free. So I'll give you an invitation to join this program that we're launching in partnership with McKinsey. Okay, so it's a program to help you get in. So it's a training program like MBA Center, but the ultimate goal is to get a job, not a master's. Okay.
Okay.
Voilà. So nice to talk to you, Adrien, and we'll probably see you very soon in Paris.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye bye. Bye bye.